The National Famine Museum at Strokestown Park and Irish Heritage Trust are screening this film as part of the Great Famine Voices Roadshow 2020 online event series. The Great Famine Voices Roadshow is funded by the Government of Ireland Emigrant Support Programme.
My name is Tricia Mackin and I was born here in Liverpool. My parents were born in Liverpool and all but one of my grandparents were also born in Liverpool, but all of Irish descent. My grandma, my dad's mum, was born in Ireland in County Armagh, South Armagh, and her parents were both from South Armagh. I've been over there on the beautiful countryside. We know more about them because they came over after 1904-05. Not sure of the exact date. So I've got a lot of information on them first hand from family. They were married in 1892. Their names were Patrick O'Hara, and he was originally from Cady in County Armagh, and Mary Goligly. Mary's parents, and Mary was born in Connally, which is near to Crossmaglen, not too far, and near a place called Silverbridge. I've got Elizabeth, Mary's mother Elizabeth, got her death certificate here, and she died in Armagh in 1907. I did go over to try and find the graves, but I couldn't. I'd like to have another trip to go. So Mary Goligly, my great-grandmother, her parents were Elizabeth Goligly, nee Lavelle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Her father was James Lavelle. Now there's a rumour in the family that there's some French there, and we were told that it could be Lavelle because it sounds French, but it's actually a Gaelic name.
Mm-hmm.
And I've looked into it. And then her mother apparently was Mary Garland. And again, I've been told that's a French name that came over with the Normans. And her father's name was James Lavelle. On the Goligly side, Mary's father, my great grandmother Mary Goligly, her father, his name was John, and his father's name was Brian. And they seem to have come from South Armagh, going way back around Connally. I found them on quite a few censuses, and I've got quite a few of the censuses here. So Mary Goligly was born in Cregan in 1881. And they came over, as I say, about 1906. She married Patrick O'Hara. His father's name was Patrick as well. And his mother's name was Biddy, or Bridget O'Hagan. And they were from Cady originally, but I believe they moved to Newry at one point. I haven't gone any further back than that. So Bridget O'Hagan was born in the 1860s. So her parents would have been in the famine era. Paddy O'Hara and Lizzie Goligly were both brought up on farms in South Armagh. But when they came to Liverpool, they came to the dock area, and that's where they lived. And no locally is over the bridge. It's between the canal and the docks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he worked on the docks, Paddy, all his life. Well, after he retired, he was actually caretaker in the big tobacco warehouse that's on the docks now. And that would be during the war. So that was when the Americans they used that for all their stuff coming in. So he was caretaker there until his 80s, he worked. They also had quite one of the large houses on Great Howard Street, Glegg Street, and they used to take in lodgers, mainly Irish lodgers who come in off the ships. So that's quite common around there. And my grandma, their daughter, Nellie O'Hara, when she married John Mackin, who lived in Dublin Street, and his family was originally from Ireland. His mother was Margaret Tansey, and I've traced that back to Miles Coffey, who was also born in Ireland. But it looks like they came over in the 1860s. seems to be quite a lot of my family came over in the 1860s, and all we've got, the only information we have on the census is born in Ireland. There's no places there. We've only got like family stories where we've County Roscommon comes up, County Longford at one point, but I've got no evidence for any of that. But Galway, County Galway, I actually had my DNA tested on Ancestry, and the areas in Ireland were the northeast, which I know of, and Galway, north and south, County Galway. So that sort of backs up that family stories of Galway. Yeah, so we worked on the docks. Most of the family worked on the docks or as general labourers in dock-related areas, the men. And quite a lot of them went to oices in the later generations. And that was on both sides of the family. So that's my dad's side. On my mum's side, my mum's Mary Kelly. So obviously Kelly is an Irish name. On her father's side, we can go back to a Simon Kelly, who was born in Ireland. And my uncle told me that his father, Michael, that's my mum's grandfather, he was born in about 1868. He remembers being carried on his father's shoulders when they came over from Ireland. So that probably points to late 1860s when they came over. I haven't got any information really on the maternal side of my grandfathers. But on my mum's, that was my mum's father. My mum's mother's side, again, is also Kelly. My gran is Anne Kelly, and her parents were Anne Devaney and James Kelly. I haven't got very much information on James. I'm still looking into that. Apart from the fact that his father's name was Thomas, because I've got a copy of their marriage certificate. And we don't know whether Thomas was born in Liverpool or Ireland, but we do know that they've come over either during the famine or after. On my mum's maternal side, Devaney, I've got marriage certificates and records, and they show that Anne Devaney's father was Patrick Devaney and her mother was Margaret Madden. And I can go back there again to Margaret Madden's father was, I think, Malachi Madden. I haven't quite got that connection confirmed yet, so I'm still looking into that.